All right. Hey, you guys, how you doing? Andy Suku, founder and CEO of Y2K Credit Solutions. So today's topic comes from one of our followers in Houston, Texas. There is these guys that I think their podcast is called Fresh and Fit or Fit and Fresh. I believe it's Fresh and Fit. And they were giving some financial advice on balance transfers. And clearly, I'll play the video for you guys in a second. But clearly, what these guys are talking about, they should not talk about financial literacy or giving any kind of financial advice. They should stay in their space, which I believe their podcast is around dating and relationships. You guys should stay in that space, Fresh and Fit. But before I go into the video and talk to you guys and break it down and explain to you guys what these guys are talking about is completely inaccurate. It's bad financial advice, and you guys should not follow this because it will lead you into debt or jam you up where you cannot pay the debt back and get yourself out of the situation. But even if you did try it, what they're saying is not possible. So let me play the video, watch the video, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about it, okay?
Credit cards out there, guys. Like Bank of America, for example, I know does this. You can go ahead, get the credit card, and transfer the credit card limit over to your checkings account in hard cash. Yes, they charge you a transaction fee, but it's not that much. It's like 4% or something like that.
4%.
So you can go ahead and get like 50K cash, okay? You get 48K of it because after the transaction fees, whatever, you get like 18 months to pay interest-free where you can use that money. Let's say you take that 50K, use it as capital, invest it into real estate property. Now you control that asset with none of your own money while simultaneously getting a bank loan. All right, you go ahead, you take that capital, get the loan from the bank, put a down payment on a house, buy the house. Now you control that asset. You have 18 months to pay it back because remember, the house, 18 months is going to be growing up in value. You're going to be collecting cash flow. You're going to be making money and saving money at the same time. And you're getting a tax.
So you guys saw the video, what the individual on the podcast is talking about. So let's break down the first thing that he's talking about. He said you can transfer the limit from your credit card, a $50,000 credit card, into your checking account and use it. That is not possible. All right, let me tell you why. First off, he is confusing cash advance with balance transfer. Listen to what he's saying. He's confusing cash advance with balance transfer. He's trying to tell you about balance transfer. That's not how balance transfer works to begin with. All right. Cash advance, he said, is about 4%. The cash advance fee is anywhere from 5 to 7% on the amount of money you take out. And that also varies from different banks to banks and depends on where you do the transaction at. Okay. Some banks may charge you a higher fee. But what he's not telling you, that is not the only fee you'll be charged. There's something called cash advance APR, and that rate is at 24.44%. 24.44%. That's the interest rate for cash advance APR, and that goes into effect immediately once the transaction is completed. That means you go to the bank, you take your credit card, you tell them you want a cash advance for X amount of dollars. They give you the cash advance. They charge you the cash advance fee, which is 5 to 7%, varies on banks. But immediately, the bank that you're taking the money out of the credit card, they're going to impose a cash advance APR fee, which starts at 24.44%. All right. Second of all, he's saying that you can take, if you get approved for $50,000 credit card, you can take $50,000 off and put it in your bank account. Completely inaccurate. That is not true. When you're doing cash advance, all banks set a cash advance limit. It's on your statement. It's on your, when you get the credit card, when you open it, right where the credit card is attached to the paper, it says your credit limit and it says your cash advance limit. Every cash advance limit is set between 5% and 30% of your credit limit. That is all you can take out. You cannot unload the whole card on a cash advance. No banks allowing you to do that. No banks. And if you find a bank that's doing it, let me know. But on the market, on all of this, you can Google. Just like we Google all this data, we go to our banks, our sources with banks to get all of this data so it's accurate information. Okay. Now, he says you have 18 months to pay back, no interest free. In the scenario he's talking about, it's inaccurate. The only time you get, and this is if you get approved for a credit card that has balance transfer, that means you're taking a debt from another credit card because the credit card rate, interest rate is high that you're paying, and you're transferring it to a new credit card with a zero balance that you have. You have a zero balance. You say your limit is $5,000 and you owe $3,000 on another credit card with a high interest rate. Let me give you an example. Let's say you got approved for Discover $5,000 credit card, and they gave you the offer balance transfer. All credit cards actually offer you that. All Prime credit card offers you that. Do you know why? Because Prime credit cards give you the lowest rate. Subprime, they're in the business of charging you high interest rate because of your credit. But let's get back to the scenario. Let's say Discover, you get approved for a $5,000 credit card. They offer you balance transfer for 12 months, and we'll talk about that just now. They offer you the balance transfer for 12 months, no interest. So you go to, okay, let's say you have a Capital One credit card and your interest rate is 29%. You have $2,000 limit on there. You're gonna balance transfer that $2,000 limit from Capital One onto Discover. Discover's gonna give you 12 months, no interest to pay that off. Now, if you don't pay it off in that 12 month, read the fine print, the default interest rate is 29.9%. And all of that interest will be tacked on for the whole year that you didn't pay it. You'll end up paying the whole year. So you got to be careful when you're taking these balance transfer as well as 0% interest. Read the guidelines. But coming back to the video, what the young man is talking about, cash advance does not give you 18% interest free. Sorry, 18 months interest free or 12 months. It doesn't happen. It does not exist. Banks do not do that. Only on a balance transfer. The other option you can get to get balance transfer, or sorry, to get 0% interest for 12 months or 18 months, it's either or, is when you open the card, Discover does this as well. They say you have 90 days to purchase whatever you want, and will offer you 18 months or 12 months, no interest. Only in that 90-day period, the first 90 days. I have that card, so I know. First 90 days. Those are the only time you will get balance transfers and 12 to 18 months with no interest. Not in a cash advance scenario. Okay? The last thing he's saying, or he said this in the beginning, he said he knows for a fact Bank of America offers this service. He references Bank of America in the beginning of the video. If you go to Bank of America's website, www.boa.com, click on the tab that says credit card and credit card offers, and on the list of all the credit cards that Bank of America offers their consumers, it has the guidelines and the specifics for each credit cards listed on their website. Nowhere does Bank of America website says this, what he's saying. Fresh and Fit, stop giving financial advice. Stick to what you guys do, relationship dating. And guys, do not follow this advice. You're only looking to just get yourself in debt, jam yourself up, and possibly burning a relationship with a major prime credit card company that you may need in the future. Just because you heard this on a podcast or some non-financial gurus giving you financial information. So do not follow this. This is bad financial advice. Even if you go to their page, a lot of people have spoke about this and saying it's not true. So always make sure you get your financial advice from a viable source, read the fine prints, and also use Google for your research. It's there. All of the data is on Google. Google's not going to lie to you. All right, don't use ChatGPT. It's not going to work. But anyway, Fresh and Fit, if you want to have a real conversation about financial literacy, reach out to my office. I will be more than happy to have that conversation with you guys and break a lot of things down. But guys, once again, bad financial advice. Watch the video, watch my response, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Talk to you soon. Have a good day.